I got to tell you what, dude, like from my point of view, that was an impressive win from Coop, because from my standpoint, I want to know what your standpoint is. Like, I mean, listen, Coop normally takes some time to get going, right? And as the race plays out, he gets better and better and better. And dude, he got in the lead in the first lap, and he won wire to wire. I think it was impressive, and not only for that, how he did that, but also like Sexton. When Sexton got in the second, I'm like, oh, Sexton's going to reel him in, because he did have a little bit of the speed advantage, and I thought Sexton looked good all day, like he does a lot. And dude, he just Coop just maintained it. Like, it was a very impressive win.
Yeah, yeah, and we had talked about coming into Indy, you know, getting to those where Coop's really good at, where he's really strong at, is cutting underneath a lot of the main lines in the 180s, going out of those ruts, putting himself to where parts of the track that haven't been rode on as much. That was a little trick line right there, as he comes out of the sand, was able to double out of it. Only a few guys were able to do that consistently, but no, Coop rode phenomenal, and really, I think at this point, you know, it's his championship to lose. Like, he's riding really well right now. His mental game, right? We've talked about it. You've said it 100 times, Ricky, how mentally strong he is. And then, and also going up against Chase, as we're looking at the points right now, 193 for Coop. Chase Sexton sits 15 down. Kenny 26 down. Justin Cooper, also with a phenomenal ride, is sitting 49 points down in fourth.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge that Cooper Webb is going to face from a championship standpoint, you tell me if I'm wrong, I think we have 8 races left, I believe, 7 or 8 races left. And yeah, I think it's 8. And the rest are all open air stadiums. We're going to be in the Northeast a lot. We got that Northeast swing. It rained last year in Birmingham after our weekend off. That's where we go next. I don't think that the mud is his strong suit.
Yeah.
I do like how he somewhat manages. I like the experience that he brings there. So myself personally, that's going to be Coop's biggest challenge, rather than like actually racing Sexton for speed.
Yep. Yep. And so I would agree with that, but also too, you know, it's different weight on your shoulders with a 15-point lead, and we're going to head into all these open stadiums. And as you know, a 15-point lead, and all of a sudden it starts pouring rain outside. You're like, man, why does it have to do this? Just because it puts another set of pressure on Coop to maintain that 15, where, say, in Chase's position, if it starts raining, he's like, okay, here's my shot, right? Obviously everybody knows goggle failures, bike failures, tip overs, bad starts. You know, when you have weather playing a huge factor in Supercross, it makes it a little easier, I guess, for Chase to be like, okay, here's my chance. I just need a mistake from Coop. And you know, I think Chase is a decent mud rider too. So that's going to be interesting to see what kind of weather we have these next 8 rounds, because like you said, they're all open stadiums. And I'd much prefer, as a racer, to race in covered stadiums, obviously, because we have controlled environment.
Hey, I know. Hey, Chris Young, 88. This is a great question. Webb has shown real progression this year with skimming the whoops and bike control. Would you attribute this to the move to Star? Why do you think Coop is doing better this year?
Well, I think I heard somewhere where he had kind of set his bike up right more for skimming the whoops.
Yep.
You know, a lot of the past few years, maybe it's a little of the way SMX Track Crew has been building the whoops, where they turn into jumpers. You know, obviously we've seen all of last year we had 9 whoops, so it was a, you know, triple. But as soon as they add that extra whoop in, or 2 whoops in, they become, you know, more of a blitzing set of whoops. Obviously Indy, that we just saw here, they really deteriorated down, and they became kind of jumpers towards the end of the main event. And that's normal for Indy like that. But I think it has to do with his bike setup, right? I think he put some more emphasis on making sure that the bike was comfortable skimming the whoops, which made him be able to, you know, come in just that extra little bit quicker to where he could stay up on top of them.
And he said, and he also said, I think it was around, I don't know what it was, RV, maybe like round 3, that he knew, listen, if I want a realistic shot of winning this championship, I have got to get better in the whoops. So what you're saying, exactly what you're saying, and expanding on that is like, so that would take an alteration to the bike and performance through the whoops, setup, and just straight up, dude, going out there and working on them. I was at a track with my buddy Ryan Duff, watching his son Wyatt. They're at Spring and Ding with you guys. And dude, Coop was out there at the end of practice. Everyone else was gone, and he was going through the whoops, just, you know, learning and trying to get better still. And think of this guy, he's a 2-time Supercross champ, been in the game forever, still working on his craft. So that's why it's a combination, like RV said, of setup on the bike and, dude, just facing the music and working on your skill straight up.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.